Hi, hello, and welcome again to SPSS tutorial for social scientists. And this is the video 2. And as you may recall, there was a survey. So the survey winner is the suspense, emotional intelligence. And so the first thing we need to do is to search and read. And then we will have a research idea. And the third thing on the list is to have good assessment tools, and they must be available, for example, in your language or online. They have to be reliable and they have to be feasible. For example, it shouldn't be too long. Okay, so let's begin. And in here, just open up Google, and my favorite search engine is Web of Knowledge. And of course, you can find some others. Do not click on the first one. Do not click on the first link. Choose the one that says invalid bookmark, because that's the one that is going to give you direct access to Web of Knowledge. Or to Web of Science is pretty much the same thing. Also, you must have access to it. So, for example, if you are just using a normal connection, a normal internet, you won't be able to access it. So it will give you an error. So you must be signed in to a VPN service, and I am at the moment, or just use the internet access from your university. Okay, this is the Web of Knowledge search landing page. And it's pretty simple, as you can see. There's just a message here, but don't worry about that. Yeah, it's pretty simple. So all you have to do is just type in whatever you want to search, and then click on search. And we are going to try using a normal search. And it's going to be emotional intelligence. And we can choose a couple of things here. You can choose title, just the authors, but I will choose topic, which basically will search the abstract and a couple more things. And you can also enter another word, so you can search. For example, we can type in sex, for example, and with the asterisk. And if we do that, it will search for all words that may begin by the letters SEX. But let's not worry about that at the moment, and let's just search. There's a couple of options you can also change. For example, the year. Let's choose 2010. So I'm only interested in 4 years of research, or just 3 years and 2 months. Let's search. As you can see, more than 1,500, and this is the resulting page. And so you can do some things here on this page. You can refine your search, but you can also read the titles for each of the articles in the results. And if it's interesting, you can just open a new tab, which is usually what I do. But a lot of decisions are made exactly here. And if you want to open it up, just open it up. And I usually don't read it right away. I will just keep on opening and opening and opening. And eventually you end up with a browser full of tabs. But that's pretty normal. So you can see here that this is made. The sample is young and old, so perhaps not exactly what we want right now. But again, this is basically looking at the titles, looking at a couple more things, and deciding if you want to retain the articles or not. In this case, I'm sure that I want that one, but I will just keep on opening more articles, and that's it. Some of them will give you the full text, some others won't. If it doesn't give you the full text, you can always search online. You can search by using Google, and if you type in file type colon PDF, you'll eventually have the PDF file for that article quite easy. But again, sometimes you really have to send a message to the authors or pay for the article, which is not exactly something that I like to do. I want to retain this one as well. I'm interested in the digit ratio, so I'll just open it up, and that's it. I mean, I will just keep on opening more and more articles. All right, so now I have a selection of articles. I usually have a folder saying not interesting, not too interesting, and these are the articles that I found. Okay, they may be nice, but not interesting right now. Then I retain all the others inside the normal folder, and I usually add a color to the most important ones. For example, such as this one, because I really want to read this one, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, now I have organized all the instruments into different folders. So I read the papers, I discovered their assessment tools, and I've downloaded them all, and they are here inside these folders. So we can study a lot of things. We can study emotional intelligence, first of all, 30 items. It's the assessment tool I have. Affect, 10 items. Life satisfaction, 5 items. Personality, 44 plus 27, 2 assessment tools. Relationships, 12 plus 7 plus 8, 3 assessment tools. Self-monitoring, 13 items, again, 1 assessment tool. And the digit ratio, which is 4 measurements, not exactly a tool. And this would take approximately 40 minutes. And then we could ask, what the hell are we trying to study? Well, let's think about this. We can do emotional intelligence, and we can think about emotional intelligence in many ways. But we can also sort of use these two variables, which actually are 4, because the dark triad is composed by 3. We can add up affect here to try and see if it moderates, for example, emotional intelligence and some aspects of the dark triad. Life satisfaction is also interesting, and I'll just throw it here, and I'll throw here as well some other variables, relationship values, variables, and the 2D, 4D ratio. And this is just to make sure that the database of analysis will be interesting. Okay, so now we have everything we need, but we need to put it online. So one of the ways to do it is by using Qualtrics. Qualtrics is basically a website that allows you to create a questionnaire online. My Dropbox is not letting me, the internet is very, very slow. Okay, but this is the landing page for Qualtrics. You can understand a bit of what Qualtrics allows you to do in this web page. And you can also try and have a free trial by clicking there. But once you have your credentials, you just add them there, and then you just need to log in. And once you do, you will have pretty much a lot of things that you can work with. And these are just 2 that I already collected in the past. You can see that that's quite a lot of people answering them, and they are in Portuguese, so that's actually very, very good. And let's just add a name. And let's click on Create Survey. And once you create the survey, here's what you see. Basically, there are not a lot of options available, but they are in fact. So okay, this is a block. Let's add a name for the block, social demographic questionnaire. It's the first thing we want to ask to our participants. Let's create a question. You can see that there's a lot of things that you can choose. You can just choose to add some text, perhaps a picture. There are so many ways that you can do here. From the very simple to the most advanced, and it's actually a very complete package of tools. You can obviously choose some other, such as SurveyMonkey or even Google Docs, but this is definitely my favorite. And the free option actually allows you to do one or two things, which is not that bad. Okay, I can just type in some things, for example, gender. Qualtrics automatically thinks that I want to add male and female. I want to also add another one saying other. And this is our first question. We can click on forced response, making sure that people will have to answer before they can move on. And we can click there in the plus sign to create another one. And I will just type in whatever I want. And now I have to change the type of question because obviously I don't want people to answer in a page full of countries. I will just add forced response, and then click here to choose a different type of question. And we can choose a drop box, but I want to use it's more simpler. I'll just add text entry. So I will let people just answer by typing in whatever they want to type in. And this is basically we just do this on and on and on until we find our questionnaire done. It might take a while. Usually it does take a while, especially when you have to add some logic to the questionnaire. Yeah, it takes time, but it's a very complete package, and I really enjoy working with Qualtrics. And I've been working with Qualtrics for almost 2 years now, and yeah, it's really great. I will just add first response again. I had to change it. I can customize what I want people to add there. So, for example, I can make sure that people will answer by inputting a number, or perhaps a US state, or whatever I want. And you know, there's so many things that you can choose here. They are pretty interesting. And there's no country with less than three letters. You know, in the case of the USA, so let's put just 3, making sure that nobody will be able to click on just A and click on next on the survey. We can collapse the block, and we can just add another block. And if we do that, we can type in emotional intelligence. This is going to be the block for our questionnaire on emotional intelligence. The reason for creating different blocks is that in this way you can randomize them later on. We'll just choose Likert. And now this is your Likert table, and you are going to be able here to input the instructions for your questionnaire, and also the scale and statements for that questionnaire. We can just you know, open what we want to input there. If you have them on Word, that's pretty good. I usually don't. I have it in PDF. We can copy and paste in a different part of the questionnaire, sorry, in the different part of Qualtrics. But though it may take a bit of more time, I just prefer to input them one by one. And whoops, sorry. Okay, and all right. So this is our questionnaire, and yes, the scale there, and we just need to input both things here, and that's it. We can click here to add scales, and it automatically thinks that I want this to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we can also input some more things, such as some labels. Okay, and all right, and finally we can just copy and paste or type the statements, which in this case, oh yeah, and the instructions first. Let's not forget about those. Copy paste them there. Pretty good. And now the statement. I rather prefer to do it one by one. And everything you need to do here is just add more statements until you reach the end of your questionnaire, which is in this case will be 44. Okay, so 60 minutes have passed, and I have created the full questionnaire. So you can see here the different blocks. It begins with the socio-demographic questionnaire and then goes on to the emotional intelligence, and then it keeps on going throughout the different questionnaires we have selected before, and it finally ends with a debriefing. And basically the debriefing is just for people to understand what's been going on, and pretty much that. Okay, so the social demographic questionnaire asks questions such as gender, country, English proficiency, and the sort. Then emotional intelligence asks for, it's basically the emotional intelligence questionnaire. And this goes on and on. I will just briefly show each one of them. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing. Just have to keep on repeating here as well. Again and again. This time divided into 3 because there are 3 different scales. And another one. And this one includes a picture and the debriefing. Also, the debriefing asks for English understanding of the whole thing. So if people that are foreigners, if they understood well or not. If you click on distribute survey or launch survey, you can activate it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And from now on, it's online. So you can see here, and you can close it, making sure that nobody will be able to answer again, but you have the link there. And so all I ask you to do is to share the survey so we can have data in the next video. You can find the link again in the video description, and see you next week.